Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to my morning news report right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Shaheen, Messner debate pandemic response, foreign policy in U.S. Senate debate. Shaheen seeking third term in office. President Trump backed Messner during primary season. The candidates for U.S. Senate met in an often continuous debate that focused on the country's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, foreign policy, and the Supreme Court. Democrat U.S. Senator Jean Shaheen and her Republican challenger Corky Messner spared often in the debate Tuesday on WMUR TV, with Messner trying to portray his opponent as an ineffective Washington insider, while Shaheen thought to tie him to President Donald Trump. Much of the debate focused on the COVID-19 pandemic. Both candidates said that people should follow guidance from scientists to best protect themselves from the coronavirus. But Shaheen criticized Messner for not always following best practices. Unfortunately, my opponent, while he says follow the science, if you listen to what he said throughout his campaign, he questioned mask wearing during the primary. He said that hospitals weren't in urgent need of funding. He has suggested to his supporters that they not follow Governor Chris Sununu's stay-at-home order. Shaheen said, "We need to be consistent. We need to let people know we can get through this if we work together." The two differed in how the federal government should handle relief and settlement funds. Shaheen said Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has been blocking needed aid packages for weeks. We need Mitch McConnell to come to the table. We need to work to get a new package done, just like we did with the CARES Act, Shaheen said. I was really proud of the bipartisan work on that package that passed 96-0. As part of that, we were able to get $1.25 billion for New Hampshire, extended unemployment benefits, help for hospitals and frontline health care workers, help for communities, and the PPP program doubled the amount of money that first responders in first proposed. But Messner said the Senate should have been working on smaller, targeted aid packages to help people and businesses more as quickly as possible. We must target who needs help and provide the help to those who are in need, Messner said, and not this blanket approach that the Democrats want to take and just spend trillions and trillions of dollars to bail out California. We here in New Hampshire should not be bailing out California for their mismanagement prior to COVID. Shaheen said A larger aid package is needed to adequately address the problem. My opponent back in April said there was no urgent need for funding for hospitals. Now he wants to support a package that has been on the floor in the Senate that would have no funding to help hospitals, no funding to help healthcare workers, a limited amount of money to help testing and contact tracing. That's not the help we need, Shaheen said. We heard from Jay Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, last week. He said we need a big package that helps all those people who are hurting and get through this pandemic. Messner accused Obama administration of not doing enough to prepare the country for a pandemic after the H1N1 pandemic or the Ebola epidemic. The institutions of government did not learn from H1N1 pandemic in 2010, Messner said, and anyone in the U.S. Senate at that time, including Senator Shaheen, needs to be voted out of office because the institutions of government were not prepared. Shaheen contradicted that the Trump administration's handling of COVID-19 pandemic has led to more than 2 million cases in the country and more than 220,000 deaths so far. She said the Obama administration put in place teams to try to dissent potential pandemics before they spread. What we need to do is to put back in place national security team that the Trump administration dismantled that can look for those kinds of threats when they're happening around the world, Shaheen said. The debate became continuous at several level points when each candidate accused the other for taking their words out of context or misrepresenting what they said. Shaheen said Messner defunded Trump when he implied that injection defect might be the way to treat the coronavirus. Messner said at the time that he thought the president was being apprehensive in insulting ways to think about treatments. Messner later accused Shaheen of minimizing the death of American troops in Syria after Trump decided to withdraw American force. Shaheen said she would never say anything like that. The debate also got heated when the candidates discussed Trump's pick for the Supreme Court. Shaheen said the president should be nominating justices who are more closely represented the mainstream of American opinions. She specifically cited Judge Amy Coney Barrett's opposition to the Affordable Care Act and abortion rights. Messner said Shaheen could have confined abortion rights into federal law by voting for the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act. He drew an outraged response from Shaheen when he said her opposition to the bill amounted to support for passive infected. The legislation that he's talking about would have put into law what is already illegal, and that is interstate, but it would have gone beyond that. It would have jailed doctors who would perform abortions, Shaheen said. Again, that's what my opponent supports. That's outside the mainstream of New Hampshire values. Messner said he would have supported Obama's nominee, Merrick Garland, getting a vote on the floor of the Senate. And that does it for this news report right here on the Riley King Network. And thank you for watching this news report. Have a great rest of your day. And see you back here later on today for another news report. Goodbye, everyone.